After nearly 3 years since his last appearance, Jin of BTS finally returned to the iconic stage of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, marking one of the most emotional and talked about moments in the show's recent history. While millions tuned in for laughs and lighthearted fun, what unfolded behind the scenes turned this segment into a moment that will be remembered forever by fans across the globe. Jin walked onto the set with his signature confidence and wide smile, dressed in a crisp navy blazer over a black turtleneck, a look that Fallon himself complimented immediately. "You've never looked better, man. How are you so flawless after the army?" Jimmy joked, prompting laughter and applause from the audience. But despite the joyful energy in the room, fans noticed something different in Jin's eyes, an intensity, a depth that hinted at something more personal beneath the surface. The two reminisced about past interviews, played a quick, whisper challenge, and even poked fun at Jin's viral hit Super Tuna. The energy remained light on camera. Yet those in attendance would later report an unexpected and deeply emotional moment during a commercial break. According to multiple audience members, as the cameras cut to black and the band played its filler music, Jin leaned in toward Jimmy and whispered something that immediately changed the host's expression. What was said exactly remains unconfirmed, but Fallon reportedly placed his hand on Jin's shoulder and replied softly, "We'll always have your back." The moment was brief, but it spread like wildfire. Hashtag Jin on Fallon and hashtag What Did Jin Say began trending within minutes on social media, with fans speculating that Jin may have expressed his gratitude, fears, or hopes about life post-military and his return to the US spotlight. One audience member tweeted, "We couldn't hear it, but the way Jimmy's face just melted into support. You could tell it was something personal." Jin looked so grateful. At BTS another shared, "It wasn't scripted, it was real. That's why it hit so hard." At Purple Tears, 7 backstage sources have suggested Jin thanked Jimmy for being a consistent supporter of BTS during their early American promotions and even during their military hiatus, a time when mainstream Western media attention on the group waned slightly. Fallon, known for his deep admiration of BTS, has long been seen as a safe space for the members. The segment closed with a heartfelt moment as Jimmy looked directly at Jin and said, "You're not just a superstar, you're family here. Welcome home." Tears, applause, and the quiet knowledge that this wasn't just another celebrity guest appearance. It was a reunion of mutual respect, long-standing support, and quiet healing. Fans wait for the full behind-the-scenes footage to possibly be released by The Tonight Show. One thing is clear, Jin's return to Jimmy Fallon wasn't just promotional. It was personal, and it reminded the world once again why Seokjin isn't just a member of BTS. He's a force of his OW, and as the episode aired in full that evening, fans around the world flooded social media with emotional reactions. The trending hashtags evolved into hashtag Jin Fallon Reunion and hashtag Jin is back, with armies expressing how much they miss seeing Jin on international television, especially in such an intimate and genuine setting. Clips of the moment when Fallon paused mid-sentence and looked at Jin with a softened expression quickly became viral. Some fans created slowed-down videos and audio edits of the brief off-mic interaction, analyzing body language, subtle hand movements, and eye contact. He didn't need to say it aloud. You could see how much that moment meant to both of them. One user posted on X, formerly Twitter, "It wasn't for the cameras. It was for each other. And for us." In the next segment of the show, Jimmy brought out a surprise, a framed photo of Jin and the BTS members from their iconic 2020 performance on the show, signed by all 7. Jin, visibly surprised, covered his mouth in shock and bowed deeply. "You've been a part of our history," he said in English, "and now I'm starting a new chapter. I'm happy to share this moment with you again." Fallon responded with his trademark sincerity. "You guys gave so much to this show, and it's an honor to have you back. Your story's not over. It's just beginning again." Later that night, Big Hit Music released a short behind-the-scenes clip on Weverse, showing Jin hugging Fallon backstage. The two exchanged words again, with Jimmy saying, "Let's not wait another 3 years," and Jin replying with a smile, "Next time, with the 6 of them beside me." This single sentence stirred intense speculation online. Could this be a subtle hint at BTS's full reunion? Was Jin's return to Fallon timed as the opening move in a larger plan for their 2026 comeback album? With Jungkook, Jimin, and Suga recently spotted traveling to the United States, fans are wondering whether the Fallon appearance is just the beginning of something much bigger. For now, armies are holding on to this precious moment. Jin standing tall on one of the world's biggest late-night stages, not just as an idol, but as an artist, a man, and a symbol of resilience. From viral hashtags to heartfelt fan messages, one truth remains unshakable. Jin didn't just return to television. He returned to the hearts of millions. As the dust settled after Jin's highly emotional appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, major entertainment outlets began weighing in, declaring his return to American television not just nostalgic, but historic. Billboard published a follow-up article titled, "Jin reclaims the spotlight with grace and strength," stating, "Jin reminded the world why he's not just a member of BTS. He's a born performer and emotional anchor for an entire generation of fans." Variety and Rolling Stone Korea both featured the reunion moment on their digital front pages, highlighting the raw humanity Jin brought to the segment. His sincerity, humor, and depth added a powerful weight to what many expected to be a simple press appearance for his US tour. Back in South Korea, media outlets praised Jin for bringing warmth to international stages again, calling it a strong prelude to BTS's long-awaited group comeback in 2026. HYB stock even saw a modest uptick the day following the broadcast, proof that Jin's individual power still moves the market. But what captivated fans the most wasn't business or numbers. It was Jin's vulnerability. A quiet word, a moment of eye contact, a small peace sign to the crowd after the final applause. Fan forums erupted with messages like, "I didn't know how much I missed seeing him on Western TV until now. He looked so confident but also so soft, like he was finally free again." At Seokjin Sparkle, we laughed, we cried. Fallon is always the right place for BTS, and tonight proved that again. Jin deserves this love. At ARMYUSA_2025, the emotional swell of Jin's reappearance sparked even more speculation that Jimmy Fallon may host BTS again as a full group in 2026, especially with hints from Fallon himself, who closed the show by teasing, "Next time I see you, I want 6 more chairs lined up right next to you." The studio audience roared, and Jin smiled knowingly. What comes next? With Jin's Run Seokjin US tour kicking off in Los Angeles next week, anticipation is higher than ever. Industry insiders have suggested that this American press run is also a soft test for BTS's eventual regrouping, and Jin's warm reception signals very good news for the upcoming group album. A S1 HYB insider anonymously told Korean media. Jin's ability to resonate with fans after 2 years of military service proves the loyalty and global emotional connection BTS has never lost. The world is still waiting. In the meantime, fans are watching closely. Not just for the next stage Jin will grace, but for the silent glances, cryptic mentions, and fleeting emotions that say more than a press release ever could. Because sometimes, it's not the song or the stage that stays with you. It's the whisper in the silence, the message in the eyes, the reunion that feels like home. And for ARMY, Jin's return to Jimmy Fallon wasn't just a media appearance, and it was a promise.